what's going on, guys? As you can tell by the intro, we're kicking this truck old school. That's right. Installing some new stereo equipment into the shop truck B2200, and we're going old school Bazooka bass tube with the newer head unit, some speakers, tweeters, etc. It's time to get this sucker rolling in style. Let's check out to see what we're going to get installed in this bad boy. So besides our really cool bass tubes Bazooka sub with the box, we're going to go with Renegade 4-inch 120 watt speakers. Now, I read reviews on these. I heard a lot of positive reviews. I never saw anything really negative. So being that this is a single cab, there weren't any speakers in the back, only under the dash. So we definitely got to spruce up the stereo system to accommodate for a really cool Bazooka subwoofer. So we're going to plug these in and try these out. And of course, go over a review. I took them out of the box already. Look pretty quality. I'll show you those in a minute. Now, of course, those would be playing our mids, some highs, but then we also have SoundStream TWS4 tweeters. Now, I read a lot of reviews on these, got some really good pricing on them, and a lot of really good reviews. The cooler part of it is that these actually are aluminum housing. I was really blown away with that, especially because a lot of the other ones said their tweeters were really good sounding, but the housing on them was so cheapy plastic that they didn't get they would fall apart. So I went with these aluminums. Here's ones to hold it in place, and so we're gonna get those bad boys installed as well. Now those are gonna go, since we deleted the mirrors, they're gonna go on the inside, and I'll show you that too. But there's a spot there now that has a nice open hole that these bad boys can go in. Let's see what else we got. So to power these bad boys, we got the P.L.Z MP600. This is a touchscreen radio. Very good reviews on this one as well. What's great about these is the guys will respond to any kind of emails with questions that you have rather quickly. They don't have a 1-800 number, but they do have an email, and they respond really fast. The cooler part of it is that on the intro, the boot up, you can get a customized logo, which they've done for me, and we'll go through all that as well. So the next thing that we have is an amp to power all this bad stuff up. Now this is a Planet Audio. It was just sitting around my house, and believe it or not, I actually spray painted it to match the truck. That's right, boys and girls. Got this bad boy to match the truck. Let's put that back here for now, along with all the other cool beach stuff and parts and stuff. And of course, the wire loom. All of this is very affordable, believe it or not. I had the amp and the Bazooka sitting around, so that was free. But of course, if you were to buy it, it's not very expensive. This bad boy was about $78. These bad boys were about 17, 18 bucks, 14 bucks, and I believe I paid 20 for that. So all in all, very, very cheap, and it's gonna get set into this truck and hopefully sound really, really good. So first and foremost, Gabe did buy a really cool Bluetooth single DIN player, but I saw that we had the spacing, which it wiggles around. Ooh! But anyhow, we're gonna bolt that down. But we have this double DIN. I don't need this empty spot there, obviously. I have a cubby here. I've already taken off the dash because I was working on my AC, but the speaker wires, I'm gonna double check all of that. And as you can see over there, I have housing or spacing for my tweeters. So, and down here, you got your speakers, your little badass 4-inch speakers. So we're gonna definitely change those out. So we're gonna get this change. I'm gonna pull this. Of course, I'm not gonna show the entire process of me pulling and all that good stuff. I'll go ahead and pull it out and show where we're at as I'm getting everything installed. All right, so a few things that you gotta love about buying an old truck that's been in and out of who knows how many hands. First of all, that thing was loose because it's missing a bolt. So I gotta get a bolt back in there on both sides. So that's why I get the nice, lovely wiggle. Another thing is that I just absolutely love is amazing craftsmanship of wiring. So you get the, just twist it together, call it a day kind of wiring. The put your two yellow and reds together to the power wiring. To create a negative, we got this random, like I guess extension cord wire. When all in all, first of all, you could just connect the wiring to here if you needed to. But most importantly, you have this bad boy. This is your standard wiring loom. So it's like the person who had it before decided to say, you know what, screw it, I don't need it. And just kind of ran this to the fuse box. And then for whatever reason, when added more audio wire, instead of using, you know, the stock one for whatever reason. So you got stock there, stock here, oops, sorry. And so if you get your light tester, you'll see that one of this is your constant and one of these are your power when you click your key forward. And there we go. It would have been nice and easy if they would have just followed the diagram. So we took out this bad boy and we're going to replace it. You see how long that sucker is too? But it's also because it plays CDs. And I don't really use CDs these days, so I didn't care for a CD player. We're going to replace it with this one. Real thin, lightweight, and it fits pretty good inside the housing there. So let's get this wiring figured out, get the two speakers installed, and then it did come with the reverse camera. We got to get that sucker figured out too. Okay, so I got that tweeter installed. Let's see. It's not standing up and down, it's actually looking like he's walking towards me. But I got that guy installed. All the factory wiring is being utilized. The guy before, just for whatever reason, bypassed it all. So let's say if you got a clip like this, which is a factory clip, believe it or not, there's female connectors. So all you have to do is push them out. Like there's little tabs that are holding them in place. Just push those tabs or break those tabs and they'll come out and it connects directly to the speaker. No sense in bypassing any wires. And that should be it. So I ran the wire for the tweeter under the dash, through the door, again through this little latch, which I'll tape down just to keep weather out of the door, and then out through here. So now it's time to screw it on. So I'm going to use this hole here. So this is my washer nut combo. What I did was I super glued the washer to the nut, because let's face it, it's not exactly easy to hold that behind there. So I put a piece of tape on the back side, so that way it gives me more surface to hold on to, and also so it doesn't accidentally slip. I've got more grip on the tape. And I'll put the screw through the tweeter housing on the middle one here, and then the wiring through one of the other holes, probably this one, and then put the whole assembly together, and it will hold real nice right here. Now eventually I'd like to build plates and actually have it sit right here in the middle on the plate. I just have to get one built, but until then this will have to do. Here's the tape holding on, cradled the washer nut combo, so I can put it through the back, hold on to it. Once I screw into it, I pull out the tape. Pretty easy. As you see, that center screw now holds in there. Little ant friend. And then the wiring goes through the top half. I then wire the two together and then stuff it down here. The center screw goes in right there, and then this snaps into place. Now I know they could stand upside down or whatever, but honestly, because of the wiring, it's so nice and stiff, it's a good thick gauge that it clips this way like if the spider's crawling towards me. So I'd have to say this is a really nice setup. One, because it holds it in the direction of like me while I'm the driver, and the passenger as well. So, and it's a nice aluminum housing, real nice and sturdy. So once we get it plugged up, we'll test it all out and see how cool they sound. Here's it is put in. The door, here, let me roll down the window here. So door closes and it stays in place. Doesn't hit the dash. Actually looks nicely tucked away. So that's done. Here's the Renegade 4-inch speaker. It's got a real nice cover. Not too bad. If it was being exposed. Mine's not exposed, so I'm not worried about it. Here's the actual speaker itself. It looks like it's well built. It's got its magnet down here. So it's capable of 120 watts, 60 watts RMS. Pretty heavy little guy. So that's going to go under the dash. Now you know how I was showing you the housing. So this is it broken off. I just broke it off. And this is what's exposed. So of course the one that's going to hold on to the negative on the radio, which is this little one, all you got to do is pinch it down with the pliers, the needle nose. Just pinch it down so it creates a tighter housing, and then it should plug right on in. So that sucker's going to go here, then the actual grill is going to go back. Next thing to do is install the camera. Now all kinds of places this camera can go. I liked that there was a hole here, but I'd have to make a whole bracket. Let's see. I'd have to make a whole bracket in order for it to sit like so. Plus I don't think I'll get good coverage. So what I'm gonna do is loosen up this bolt here and put the actual housing behind and let it sit right there. Let's try it out. And then I got a wire, run that wire all the way through here and to the front. Okay, so radio's in place. I still have to screw it back in its home spot so it still wiggles around, but it's not going to stay like that. All in all, stereo's in place, speakers are in place, and tweeters are in place. So now we got to set up all the wiring for the subwoofer. Power wise, like I already have the audio. Those definitely will go hidden underneath the carpet. It did have old speaker wire underneath the chair already, but who wants to use that? I mean, the way this thing was already like rigged up as it was pretty horrible. So I really don't care to use some of the old wiring, but we have it here. So definitely gonna pull all that out. Here we go. Pull all that out and put in all the new good stuff. So let's get that started. So the pre-existing wire is already like here. It's a pretty heavy gauge. I don't think I need a gauge that heavy for this little amp. And it's going through the firewall at this point. So what I'm gonna do, so I don't have to like really force and get behind the dash and all that good stuff, I'm gonna take the easy way out. Here's mine. It's a smaller gauge. So what I'm gonna do is duct tape it with the duct tape and secure it real nice and good to this cord and pull on it on the inside. So as I'm pulling it, it's gonna go right through. Should work. Let's find out. I figure this is where I'm gonna put the amp's home spot. It'll sit flat underneath the seat. I did pull off the seat just to make all this install so much easier, especially when it comes to putting in the subwoofer, the Bazooka. Rawr. And so then I've also like brought the wire out and I've kind of pull tight it together. And what I'm going to do is I don't want to cut it and make it shorter and all that stuff, especially because I have the AV cables. So I'm just going to roll it underneath the carpet and then pull out just as much as I need. So I'm getting that done. I'm going to look to see about the Bazooka's home spot and then plug it all in and hopefully see that I don't blow up my little truck. Okay, keep watching. The amp that I chose to paint to match the truck, it kept tripping. It kept going into protection mode. But I believe it's because one of my brothers managed to spill a drink on it, and so it's still acting up. I'd have to take it all apart, but I don't have time for that right now. So We got this bad boy that was sitting in my dad's truck, Pop's truck. And he wasn't using it. He doesn't use the truck all too often. So we have that now powering the sub. Does really good. So what I've decided to do, and the one place it could fit was bam, right there. It couldn't fit down here in between the seats. It couldn't fit long ways because the seats wouldn't be able to recline back enough. So it sits pretty much standing tall. But it still sounds really good standing like that. I'm going to put the other seat in place in just a minute. But let's see how it sounds. Alright, so here we go. There we go, radio starting up. Appeared in the logo. Person, it looks a little sharper. Camera's trying to adjust to the difference in the lighting. So here it's hooked up to Bluetooth. Got my title names. Move back a little bit. You got your home. And then here your brightness will change when you turn on your lights. Turns to a little moon, dims down a little bit. You got all your settings, Bluetooth, radio. Radio isn't all that great right now. I mean, the software is okay. But, you know, it doesn't have any radio because I don't have the antenna hooked up since the wires were all chewed up. It has phone link, so I can link up whatever I'm looking at on my phone. You got your AV in, I guess if you had an external DVD player. Even though, like, you can play movies actually through that USB port. Got your settings. I can change the wallpaper. And of course, you wish you could get a little cooler and all that good stuff. But it is what it is. You know, we're trying to do all this on a budget. I can make phone calls. People hear real well from the speaker and all that good stuff. So all in all, it's a pretty decent little radio. I like it. Sounds good. It's cheap. You might have to upgrade later, but this is what we got for now. Woo! It's humid out here. Hot and humid. But hey, I got it all done. Sounds really good. I'm glad I went with this Bazooka. It sounds really good for the size of space in this truck. Really bumps with that 1000 watt amp. Sucks that other one didn't work out, but oh well, hey, it is what it is. I thought I'd use something free that sat around. This one was also free thanks to Pops. You know, he donated it. So we can go ahead and finish the install. All in all, like, the sub fits really well in the placement that I got. You know, it doesn't affect my driving any. Doesn't even touch me. Thankfully, like, the sub thins out with this little air duct right here. It doesn't affect the passenger seat as well. And so, yeah, pretty happy with the way it came out and the sound. Along with this radio, can't complain on that. That sucker, I mean, for the price, does the trick. For now, later on, of course, we'll definitely try updating it, and we'll make a video off that, like, of course, always. Next video I'm going to do is show you how to install some lights in this wink mirror, because since we did the wink mirror, it lost its actual light off the rear view mirror. And so right now I just have a little small LED strip just plugged right into it. But I want to actually get quality lighting, but in the mirror. So I'm going to show y'all how to do that on the next video. Should be a pretty easy deal to do. Yeah, so if you have any comments, if you like the way this sub sounds, I hope the sound sounds great in the actual video. But if it doesn't, I'm sorry. But it sounds really good. I think the Bazooka was a good choice to go with, along with these little 4-inch speakers, these Renegades, and then the tweeters. Definitely a good choice for this small area. Gets really loud. You can really hear it outside the truck. And didn't think it'd ever be bumping like this, for sure. So if you guys liked what you saw, hit a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. Positive, negative, criticism, I take it all. I don't really care. It doesn't hurt my feelings any. You can also check out my Instagram at Jason_TC2 and see where else we're coming along with some of the builds. Wide body still getting worked on. A few more days on that, crossing my fingers. And yeah, hit subscribe. You guys, thanks for watching. Y'all are awesome. Take it easy.